Why wouldn't she help her? I think she'll help her, figure out how to start her platform. And maybe she will, Bethenny will say, I'll come on your podcast. Maybe Bethenny will take a portion of her,
Honey, she ain't helping her start a podcast, and it's going to be on the Bethenny network. But trust me, give me a minute. Bethenny's going to have a fucking podcast network.
Well, Bethenny, remember, she already responded to my prediction, which was that she was doing all this because she wanted her own network and wanted to start producing reality shows. She responded and said, no, that is not what I'm interested in doing. I'm too lazy for that. I'm just, voicing my opinion, and I've started a movement, but she says she does not want to do that. But if it becomes, I think, so to answer your question, I think she will help her if she wants to start a podcast. I do.
Listen, I'm not wishing anyone that starts a podcast harm, but everyone who slips into my DMs is saying like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I hear you. It's a lot, Rachel. You're in the game now. It's a lot. I mean, like, so I am not doubting Raquel, but Raquel, girl, I'm not doubting Bethenny, but I'm just saying Raquel, if she starts a podcast, has to be there every week. And she has
she has to have, forget that. I mean, yeah, she has nothing else going on, but she has to have content to put out once a week, twice a week on mental health. She said she wanted to have it about mental health surrounding, cheating, scandals, love addiction, sex addiction, whatever. That's kind of a boring podcast after you get into maybe 3 episodes of talking about what happened. I mean, unless you're getting some real guests that talk about their mental health status before and after a crisis and a scandal, then maybe you've got something, but you got to get some really good guests. And is she a good interviewer? We don't know. We don't know anything about it. So, it's all speculation.
It's all speculation. Yes. I don't know. I just thought that she might give her a job. I don't know what she's going to do, but let me tell you something. If you work for Bethenny, you better bring your A game, because the ratings are already over for her 3-part series with Raquel. So if she does give her a job, Raquel, your best friend that you think is now your best friend, will be your boss. And let me tell you, Bethenny will be firing you if you don't bring your A game to work every day. No offense. That's what's you see where this is going, Rachel. You could see that happening.
Yeah, I can. She has to step it up if that's what she wants to do.
Do you know what? So, but like my whole thing with this whole thing is like, nobody has sued anybody. Like, that's what there's like, what is next? That's my thing. So they say, that's Garagos's latest argument. And their argument is we never wanted to hold anyone to the NDAs. Okay, where are we now? Like, at some point, where is this going? Like, what is the next move from that? Like,
well, I think that people are going to. No, I mean, yeah, maybe. Yes, maybe there's going to be a lawsuit. I don't know what the actual lawsuit could be. I think that there's a lot of, scare tactics. I think Bravo has a leg to stand on, because they're going to say people agreed to do this, and we can only represent them how they chose to be represented. I've had people on my own podcast, Misunderstood, who have talked about working in reality shows and the fact that they, they were put in situations to provoke a reaction, but it's their own actions that led them to do it. I was on 2 reality shows. I know what it's like. Of course, they concoct situations, but you can only act how you are going to behave. They can't make you look like you're being abusive or doing all these things if you don't do it. So, I don't know that they have a real, leg to stand on for a lawsuit. Maybe they will create a union for sure, but everyone would have to stop working until they create one, I think. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. What I want to get back to for 1 second is I think people are going to be very over this Scandoval situation, because, to hear that Tom and his ex are still living in the same house takes all credibility away from them. Why would they do that? You don't think so?
Well, no, I'm not. I agree with you, but you saw, you saw their argument, because, you saw what Ariana said, right? Like, I'm waiting, my financial advisor until we figure it out and how much it's worth. I mean, listen, Ariana's clapped back at Bethenny and everything.
Time out. When people get a divorce, when people break up, one person's that very rarely are people sharing a house, especially when it's this large of a scandal. She has made so much money in the last couple months since this all happened. There's no way she couldn't go get a rental, or if she feels so scorned, tell him to get the fuck out. Like, I don't get it. Like, why are they living together? It almost seems like this was concocted and, you know, why is anyone feeling sorry for her anymore? I don't get it. She's still living with her boyfriend. And they're still living in the same situation they always were in. Now it says movie deals and TV deals and commercial deals and cover magazines, and you know she's reaping the benefits. Who's paying the rent there? He can move, she can move. It was if it was such an issue. That makes no sense to me. I think people are going to stop having empathy for this situation because it's not really making sense anymore. You know,
I said in the beginning, no, I don't disagree with you. I said in the beginning, I'm like, give it a minute. Everyone's now saying, oh my God, you call, like I said, people are going to turn.
What are they saying? What are people saying?
Well, in the beginning, I said there will be a day where you all turn on Ariana. I think there will be a day where the cast all turns on Ariana. It's like she has almost $2 million now from this. All these opportunities.
Is that true? Is that fake news or is that true?
I believe over $1 million. I do. If you want to factor in, okay, Dancing with the Stars, the more you.
Excuse me, I was asked to be on Dancing with the Stars. It's a favored nation offer.
Is it? I thought everybody got a different amount of money.
Absolutely not. I was offered the job. It's favored nations.
How much were you offered for the first?
Well, at my time, it was 25,000. I believe now it's 75,000.
That's it.
Yeah,
but the more
to be on The Apprentice, that was 25,000. I talked to Melissa Rivers and other people who have done it. They got 75, but it was not because of who they were. Trust me, I was the biggest news story in the world. I got paid $400,000 to do celebrity rehab. No one's ever been paid that kind of money. That's not favored nations. The Apprentice was favored nations. It was 25,000. Everyone, no matter who you were, got that much. Now it's been bumped to 75. There's another show. I forget what it was. I just talked to somebody else about it. It's 100,000, but that's like crazy. It's like
Celebrity
I want to say it's Celebrity Big Brother or something like that. But that pays people different amounts. I do know that because I've been up for that as well. But Dancing with the Stars is favored nation.
But you get, I didn't know that. I thought like a Teresa got more than like, but you get more the more you're there. Each week there's an incentive.
No, it's a flat fee. No, unless things have changed in the last couple of years, which it wouldn't. That's just not how it works. No matter who you are.
I swore I thought if you were there, like whatever you started, I thought if you were there week 9, you got more money than if you were voted off week 2.
Nope, that's not how favored nations works.
No,
if you win the prize, maybe there's some sort of incentive, but that is not how it was represented to me. Listen, I'm not an agent. I could do some research and get back to you next week.
Please do, because I would have said.
I know for a fact that it was presented to me years ago as favored nations, which was $25,000 to every cast member.
And I listen, do research. I always heard it was different amounts, but also the further you lasted, the more money you got. So there's your incentive to not go home. Other than just
so this is why I think it's fake news that she has all this money. I think she could have definitely made a couple $100,000 for sure. But after you're paying managers.
But there's a lot of endorsements, honey. A lot.
What endorsements? Tell me.
I mean, and they're big. Like I think Lay's potato chips, Bic, Razor,